So, all right, ready? Edit. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Man to the Spirit. I'm one of your hosts, Miguel.
And I am one of your hosts, Dustin.
Aha! That's off. Well, if you're a first-time listener, we thank you for checking us out. We hope that you like the content. If you are a returning listener, we also thank you. And we hope that you're liking the content. If we don't have any updates for you today.
The only update that we have is the one that we posted on Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Sunday.
Please, can I have some more?
Oh, Charlie!
He bit my finger. Okay.
All right. But the only update that we have is we will be releasing two websites at the end or maybe beginning of July.
Yes.
So, well, when I say end, I mean the end of June, beginning early of July. So, like, hopefully by July 4th, that'd be cool. Because I have some things on Squarespace. Because since we have upgraded from Wix to Squarespace,
He's an upgrade. Wow.
I sure did.
How did you think about them?
Huh?
That's what you think about them? He said we done upgraded.
Well, okay. Because Wix doesn't offer what Squarespace does. And so that in Squarespace is a lot harder to use. And so like I'm like, that's a challenge. And I mastered Wix within a couple weeks. And it wasn't really like a challenge for me.
No.
So
that's because he stays up day and night.
what am I talking about? There's no proof of that.
And he got mad when he couldn't figure it out. Instead of being the normal person who's like, you know what, I can't figure it out. I'm getting angry, let me walk away. Not him. 1 o'clock in the morning. Are you kidding me? Come out here. Dude, what are you doing? Nothing. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. I got it. I was like, yo, you're a madman. That's crazy. That my notes fell that far away from me. Like, and y'all should see me. I'm comfy. Got my feet up on the recliner. Comfortable as can be.
That's my notes, matter of fact.
Dustin, we're not going to talk about it. You know? And what beautiful notes they are. So, today's episode on our mini-series for temptation is going to be I don't actually know. Dustin, we didn't. Oh, yes, we did. Okay, I got freaked out. I was like, Dustin, we didn't give this one a name.
Yeah, it's
this one is nameless.
Different types of temptation.
Different types of temptation. Okay, so there's quite a few different ones. We're going to be able to see.
I'm sorry. Listen, people. Like, all right, really quick. I want you guys to understand. This is a serious topic, 100%. But if you don't know me and Miguel, by now, it's that we are completely dorks and we want to be more.
Know me by now.
We want to be more funny, but also at the same time, we want to be ourselves. We want.
Okay, what he means to say is we want to be serious,
but
we want to be ourselves.
Yeah,
like because we're silly people.
And there's no doubt about that.
No doubt about that. And it's definitely never taken to that we don't take the word of God seriously because we do. Very, actually. If you don't believe that, look at our life.
Literally.
We changed our whole life for this.
Yes.
But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and continue because I just stabbed the roof of my mouth with a
sunflower
seed.
And now he's mad.
I'm pretty mad.
He's really
hurt. You call me a 12-year-old?
No.
Oh, that's what I heard in my head. All I heard was he's a 12-year-old. You need to leave. So,
But anyways, what's today's episode about?
it's about
You and that freaking cup is gonna make me mad.
closing it up.
Good. We don't need it to be just like when we
Did
had
you
to
drink
get.
the rest of that water and so you could spit your sunflowers in it?
Yeah. Why you got an issue with that? That's
Because
to
that was
me.
my remaining water.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
No,
it was over there.
that's a personal issue.
That was always taking my drinks.
No, this water bottle was mine.
No,
Yes,
it
because
wasn't because I threw it on the couch.
Why are you throwing it on the couch for?
Because
This ain't your house.
It's not, but I threw it over there.
That's crazy.
I threw it over there so that way I could have it.
Never mind. I can't say that. Anyways,
So now you have to let me use me.
Jurassic World.
Let me. I'm a little.
That's what it says on the bottle.
Does it?
Yes, Jurassic World.
Do it. Say it like that, weirdo. It doesn't. If that would have exploded, your wife
yeah, she
would have
would've-
had your head.
on a silver platter.
What?
Here you go, God. Have your Peter back.
You said he was. You said he was yours, and now he is. Forever.
Don't condemn me.
Right. So anyway, but yes, we're gonna get into it, and so this is about the different types of temptation, and the first one I'm gonna go ahead and just name. Actually, I'm gonna name them all. Is lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life, social, cognitive, and external.
Sorry. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I couldn't think of the word. So for the first one, like, Dustin, have you heard of all of them? Like, did you know there's different types of temptation before we did the research?
I knew that there was pride and lust, but I didn't know there was like lust of the flesh.
You knew that there was different like kinds, but not types.
Yeah.
Like there was different ways for you to be tempted.
Yeah.
But you didn't know where they fell under.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew
Mhm.
that there was different types.
Well, yeah, you've been in this longer than I have.
I did. So insecure and touchy. He was like, "Yeah, well, I would have known too if I'd have been there as long as you have."
Yep. Would have. Listen, I'm mad about that still. But anyways,
What?
nothing. That's for a different episode.
Oh, he wish he had a bird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then growing up with you would have been crazy.
Off topic, sir.
I would have bullied you.
I already got bullied. So.
Yeah, well, I bet it would have been love. It would have been love. I'd be like, "Hey, what's that?" Flick your nose.
All right. That's for a different episode.
No, we get emotional. We get emotional when we talk about Berta.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like that.
No, I miss that woman. With all my heart.
Me too. So, I knew lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and I knew pride of life. I understand social and cognitive. Well, I understand them all. I just didn't know that they also counted them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, for this one, let's start with which one?
Pride.
Pride of life?
Yeah.
What do you think pride of life is
Don't know.
when you hear it? Pride of life.
You take everything for granted.
Well, this one is more like pride as in my precious, like, type of thinking. Like you love the world. You love everything, like everything that you build and all that. But let me get you an actual.
I mean, I take pride in what I do. Not in a bad way. Like if I build something, I take pride in it. Like, haha, I built that.
Yes, I think this is. Hold on, let me get you in actual word from word.
Bible.
For all that is in the world, this is 1 John 2:16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not from the Father, but it is from the world. It's basically It says the dangers of worldly desires, including pride, which are not from God, but are part of the world's corrupt.
Okay.
So, pride of life
Okay.
would be the pride of having things of the world, and it'd be the pride, like regular pride, like I am awesome because I have like 10,000 businesses and I do
So that's
this.
anybody that's in the world right now.
Yes, yes. If they're not walking humbly with their God, then yeah.
Yeah.
But now I will say this. So, what's lust of the flesh?
Looking at a woman wrong. I hear that.
So, if we say lust of the eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it could be lust of a woman, like you said, but like it also could be like lusting um after material things.
Okay.
Envy can go under lusting.
Mm.
It can be lusting for different kind of just worldly pleasures.
Yeah.
And then it also earthly passions and different, like for instance, Eve was tempted by lust of the eyes because she looked at the fruit and then desired it. You know? So loving the world
Mm-hmm.
has always been against God, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
like God is against it. In fact, to the point where he says that those who love the world are my enemies.
Yeah.
And you can't be saved and love the world. Now, does that mean you can't enjoy? What do you think? You think that we can like enjoy the world?
Well, when you put it like that, no. What I think, what I think is that I don't think we can enjoy it, but I think we can enjoy the things that God gives us.
Okay.
I don't. I don't know. You could look at that
So
so
you
many.
don't separate things of the world as far as like for instance, like because I know that, and listen, you if you're really thinking about it, you know this person exists.
Mhm.
No offense to this person, but the person who's like, well, what is walking on the beach wrong too?
Oh my goodness.
Right?
Okay.
You do, yeah.
Okay.
Like, can you enjoy life and love and love God?
Yeah, you can enjoy life.
Why is that different?
For me, is you can love life
Mhm.
and love God. For me, I have to say that I love both because of the fact that if I didn't love God, then what would be the point of living? And that's what I've asked myself
Okay.
multiple times because there have been times where when I lived in the world and I didn't live the right way. I was unhappy a lot of the time. I had suicidal thoughts. I had depression. I mean, I still suffer with anxiety. Not your
No, we don't. We don't claim that the devil is
no.
a liar.
Hold on. Let me finish before you interrupt.
I'm just saying, I got your back.
I'm saying the not the I don't even know. I don't. It's gone now.
You suffer. You still suffer the things from it, or yeah. But so he's made the difference to you
Yes.
from living life now. So did he teach you how to like live?
He didn't teach me. He showed me.
Okay.
He showed me not only did or I this isn't I'm not sure if this has happened to everybody, but there have been a point in my life where God had to step in and say, "Hey, this is the reason I gave you life." Like,
Oh, you spoke to daddy.
yeah,
He was like, come here before I snatch you up."
exactly. Like for me, when I experienced the point of living, um, he said or he told me, Coco is just staring at that blanket right now.
Right.
when when I was in that situation where I didn't see the point of living, I didn't see the point of life, and I didn't love what I had, and I questioned God the wrong way. Like, we can question him, but don't do it the wrong way. Do it the right way. And he straight up said, "Am I not the one who gave you life?
Mm,
I put you here to enjoy what I give you, and a whole bunch of other things that I'm not gonna get into because it's gonna make me teary eyed. But it put into perspective for me that everything that he has done for me makes me happy. And you also, when you look around, when you look at the trees, when you look at the um the sky, when you look at the world, when you look at everything, he's built everything. His fingerprint is everywhere.
right.
And so, like, for me, I enjoy that
Okay.
because if it wasn't for him, then I wouldn't be here.
That's a really good point. A good point to put it. So, like, because some people think that you can't enjoy anything because enjoying life would be enjoying the world.
Yeah.
But I agree with you on that subject. Like, you can go and enjoy life and things like that. You can enjoy the things in the world. Okay, theme parks, all that fun stuff. However, mine is when I think of the world, I think of the heart issue.
Yeah.
I think of the sin and the things that go against the Lord.
Hmm.
So like, yes, I can go and enjoy a theme park. However, I will not go enjoy a strip club.
Yeah.
I
And
will,
even when you went, you didn't enjoy it.
yeah, yeah, definitely, I I enjoyed it.
Like, I'm not well, okay. What I mean by that is that it didn't bring you.
Not true joy.
Yeah. It didn't.
No, it
Yeah.
definitely doesn't bring you true joy. It's definitely, I mean, I enjoyed it because I didn't know a different joy. I didn't know the joy of the Lord.
Yeah.
And when I found out what the joy of the Lord was, it was very much different.
Yeah.
That I didn't want. Then I was like, okay, well, this is kind of like fake happiness over here.
Hmm.
This is great for the night, but what about tomorrow?
Exactly.
And I think
I'm just gonna stop eating these sunflower seeds till they stop making noise. Sorry.
he said for the last 10 minutes, all you hear is crinkle.
Probably. So I'm sorry.
Um, and so I think that with that, you can go enjoy like a lot of things, and you just need to know and keep your heart right and understand what God says and understand what basically understand what you stand for.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's the lust of the eyes, which is what we talked about, lust of the flesh, which is anything that causes us like to do the opposite of what God would call us to do.
Hmm.
You know, and then social temptations.
Oh, social
We know, like
temptations.
I'm sure we all know that. We all have stories on that.
Listen, talking about cigarettes,
Right.
bro.
Cigarettes.
Vaping, drinking, smoking, like all that. Like,
Just to name a few, what you going through that You said that quick, boy.
that's because I mean, listen, I used to smoke weed. I loved smoking weed.
Yeah, me too.
Not gonna lie, until I figured out that weed was witchcraft, then that was crazy. But
Crazy experience.
yeah, and like thinking, I don't know, because like I see a different view on that now. Now that I have stopped and I've I've tapped in, well, not tapped in, but I've been shown the spiritual realm
Right.
before, and to look back and I'm like, wow, 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 wow,
Right.
like it's
A
crazy.
100%.
So
So social like temptations
yeah,
is like,
going
your
being around.
girlfriend's dad smoking a cigarette, and you're like, I
That's
know
how I
that.
feel when I'm around my parents.
I know he'd give me one,
Hmm.
but I don't want to make God cry today.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And also, it's not healthy for me to do it. And I'm a lot healthier without it.
Hmm.
So, you know,
No, I will say that, and this is not a free pass, so do not take. I am not saying that this is a free pass,
uh-oh.
but what I'm saying is that it's different when a newcomer um comes into a faith. They don't they don't get the same, what's the word, convictions that we do.
Yeah, no, not right away.
No, I mean the dude, you. There was we used to know somebody that went from, or no, not know somebody. We used to watch somebody that went from, oh, I'm smoking weed, George Jango, right? He went from smoking weed to not.
Hmm. And cursing and all that stuff.
Yeah. But you got to see his, his transformation.
Well, yeah, because it's always come as you are, but don't stay as you do.
Yeah.
And God is going to remove these kinds of lusts and temptations. And like we may still face the temptation itself, but we'll have the power over it. So
Yeah.
like where before, like the Bible says, we were a slave to sin.
Hmm.
You
And
know,
it's harder. I will say that it is harder to get over that temptation
right?
when you are newer in the faith.
Yeah, because you're so used to doing it.
Yeah.
You're so used to telling your flesh yes all the time that when it becomes, when like God's saying like no, and you're like, oh wait, like I have a choice, and you go to say no, and then you end up in situations where like maybe it's hard for you to say no, so you don't end up really saying no, or maybe you say no for a little bit, and like you're good for a little while, then go right back to it,
Hmm.
and then or maybe like maybe it sneaks up on you
Yeah.
and you're not like even thinking about it or doing whatever, but you end up doing it just almost like a second nature, like things like that. Yeah, it's completely rough, and it takes a lot of prayer and a lot of self control and really changing your mind around. That's what the Bible means about renewing your mind and things of that nature,
Hmm.
because your mind is wired one way,
Yeah.
and you need the Word of God to wire it the other way.
Hmm. Especially when, like for me, like my biggest temptation is smoking. Not
What?
not weed, but
Cigarettes?
listen, God took that straight out of my mouth. I'm not gonna lie. The weed part, straight out my mouth.
Yeah, I don't care about weed
I liked it because I smoked weed to get
to go to
to
bed.
to go to bed. Was to feel like, to get a little bit of a buzz and then go right to bed after that. It wasn't to, sit here, smoke 4, 5, 6 blunts a day,
Right.
and just to, be numb. No, drinking was that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of old things that can pop up. And like the devil knows this, and that's why they come up. And that's why one of my favorite songs is called Cycles. And he says this. He says, didn't I conquer this last year?
Hmm.
Tell me what I missed.
Yeah.
And he says, um, because lately the devil's been coming at me. He said, must be something I ate. He said some shows, some songs, some hate.
Mm.
And he said because the devil learns from your mistakes, even if you don't.
Yeah.
And when he says that, like, didn't I conquer this last year? You ever had something that you haven't done that you've gone a long time without,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
how did I so freely do that?"
I mean, you got comfortable.
Right, you let your guard down, and the devil's like, yeah, you know what? Like I always tell people, and I actually got this from Jordan. Jordan was like, Jordan goes, he's like, you know what? He's like, Jordan's the same guy if you took Jesus away.
Mm. Yeah.
He said Jordan still likes drugs. Jordan still likes porn.
Mhm.
Jordan still likes these things.
Yeah.
He said now Jordan with Jesus doesn't.
Yeah.
He said, so I need Jesus to be the new version of me
Mhm.
at all times.
I need Jesus to basically power my body.
100%. Because if listen, sorry, everybody, I'm so sorry. I just gotta
Got to download.
like, what engine is you running on?
You running on the caboose, or you running on a 4 point,
Like, right?
on a 5.0 or a 5.7?
Because let me tell you, because if you running on just the same engine that you've been running on
On
for the
that 4
past
cylinder,
30, 40 years, and you ain't
you ain't got to upgrade to a V8.
you ain't upgrade nothing. You ain't checked your spark plugs. Okay. You ain't change
Your fuel, coil
your
pack,
rotors
or your coil packs.
or your coil packs. And then you get next to brand new,
Mm-hmm.
shiny,
Mm-hmm.
beautifully upgraded,
Mm-hmm.
got a turbo in it
Mm-hmm.
vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, yo, let's race.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah,
You gonna get smoked.
You gonna get smoked, and you probably gonna pop that engine right out of your motor. You try to run it like that. Trying to run around like a
Pop that
newborn.
engine out of that motor.
Wow, that was crazy. I don't know why I said that. Pop that engine out that motor.
Crazy.
You know,
Motorsport? No, I'm
man.
sorry.
But like, you know, man. Like, so
Yeah.
it's like, what is it called? Because
And
it happens, right?
you throw a rod through your transmission through the.
That, and then what's the one where the engine falls?
That's your motor mounts collapsing on you.
The-
That's straight out what that means.
It says zoom.
Mhm. That's your motor mount saying,
Your car just came to a complete stop.
That's your motor mount saying, I give up.
So like, but my point to that is like, if you run yourself off and you deal with your temptations all in the same way all of the time, and you are expected to run this race that we call life, most likely I'm gonna see you on the side of the road.
Yep.
Most likely you gonna come to a halt and a stop, because the Bible says you can't love the world and follow me.
Yep. You can't serve two masters.
And so when we're tempted, and here's the beauty thing about tempted is like being tempted. The beauty thing about it is it always starts with a thought.
Yes, sir.
Your temptations are always a decision, and so
You gotta tell it. Say, you're not my dad.
you're not my dad. You can't tell me to do it. Like you can't. Like I don't care how many he shoulds. She didn't.
She coulda, shoulda done this.
Coulda, woulda.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda bought a Honda.
Should have been a Honda. You're right.
Shoulda bought a
Like
Honda.
all of it. Like she could have.
Or he could.
He didn't. This, that, the other gives you no right to live differently.
No. I think at the end of the day that what people, I don't know. I had a good idea, but God told me no on that one.
I have a good one. You ready for it?
One's that
Here's-
good because I'm glad because God said no on mine.
Here's the thing. You have lust of the eyes, right?
Yep.
You have lust of the flesh. Things
Yep.
that your flesh loves, things
Yep.
that your eyes love to watch.
Yep.
That you should be watching.
Yep. You know, it's
You got-
crazy. Just thought about that because you said porn or you said that word earlier.
Oh, corn.
Yeah. So, like,
Corn.
okay.
Corn. Sorry, YouTube, please don't. Like corn.
You got to think about it. Like, you literally you watch soft and hard all day long without even knowing that you're watching the soft part. Like, yeah, you would know the hard.
Right. Yeah, no.
You would know the hard part if you physically go type in
TikTok.
TikTok, Facebook,
We're on
Instagram.
you.
Don't be yelling.
We're on
Listen.
TikTok.
Listen.
I'm on y'all. Because let me tell you something. I love TikTok. I do. I laugh. My videos consist of eating.
Not.
My videos consist of like eating different types of foods, making different types of foods. That's what I'm interested in. I love foods from different cultures.
Yeah.
And then also cat and like dog stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Typically like scares.
Yeah.
Where you get to watch them like scare somebody and like their like reaction.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like it's like, all fun and games. My favorite one so far
Mm-hmm.
is when they put the "I Feel Good"
Mm-hmm.
song in like cabinet and the beginning. Have you ever heard the song?
Mm-hmm.
Because like when he screams, "Ow! I feel," when they put it on really high.
Yeah.
And they put it in the cabinet and it scares them and people rip the cabinet doors off and
Yeah.
fell with the bowl of cereal and like
Listen,
it's
if you
just
ever
funny.
did that to me, I'm gonna kick you.
I
in the
thought
nuts.
about you because I was like, yo, I should do that because like when you get tired, you get tired. And like you walk around with like it's like your motor skills take a backseat, and the only ones that survive and like late at night is the one to eat cereal.
You know why?
But like you don't
Do you know
hear
why?
anything, you don't nothing.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because when I used to smoke weed,
Yeah.
cereal was my thing. Cereal.
Well, cereal has always been your thing.
Well, no, not until I really started smoking weed.
Really?
Yes, once I loved cereal. Don't get me wrong, cereal was my thing, but I would not eat it before bed.
So
Now,
now you just kept the stoner's habit.
yes.
It's crazy.
Not gonna lie, you can look at me and you can tell he used to smoke.
Yeah. Yeah, at night, that's you look. You look like a natural stoner.
Yes, it's very bad, but it's a good thing that nobody can see that.
He's like, I still love my cereal though.
Yes, 1,000%. It helps me go to sleep at night. I love milk.
Love
But
milk.
knowing I'm lactose intolerant, but
He's like, that's a problem for another day.
listen,
Deal with that in the morning.
listen, straight up.
So, but like he looks like that. So, like, I thought, like, one day I'd spent the night because we were going to church in the morning,
Yeah.
and we were going to church, and we all drive to church together, one vehicle, and I was like, yo, just going to chill out for the night. He's like, yeah, got a couch, whatever. And you came out.
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
Like, if he falls asleep without his cereal, like fine. But if he wakes up in the middle of the night and notices that he didn't have cereal,
I'm coming back for that
he's
cereal.
coming back to put himself back to sleep. And you came out, and I was like, and I was up because I'm a psycho. And I was up, and I was, I said something to you, bro. You blank stared and just kept walking to the cabinet. And I was like, yo, you heard me?
Was that okay?
And
So
you
let me.
looked at me. He goes,
Was this recent?
huh?
Was it recent?
Huh?
Was this recent? Or was
This,
it before we started the ministry?
no, this is after the ministry.
Okay.
It's like, it's recent, but it's not like yesterday. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because we started the ministry on February 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, February 15th. And then 2 weeks later is when we started it. Started recording.
Now we're 3 months in.
34 episodes strong.
Hey! So, but yeah, no. And you were like, huh? And I was like, what? So you scared me, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So I noticed that you just dead to the world, everything. And I was like, you know what? I should put a speaker in there.
Wow.
Just in case I'm up one day when he is. And when you come out that room and I'm up, I'll just randomly hit play and connect.
Wow.
And just do it. What would you do?
What would I do? The temptation that I
The
would have,
Speaking of which,
temptation that I would have would
which one is it? Can you classify it?
incognitive.
It'd be yes, it'd be cognitive.
So the temptation that I would have would then, if you were to do that to me,
Yeah.
my get back to you would be I'm gonna take the speaker and I'm going to plug it up to my phone.
Okay.
Once I plug it up to my phone, I'm then going to put the speaker right next to your ear while you're sleeping, and then play that song, that very song, in your ear, and watch you, especially on a Sunday, especially the morning of church. Oh, it's gonna piss you off.
Why?
Just see it. That's my pettiness.
That's diabolical.
That's
man.
my pettiness. That's the level that I'm willing to go on that.
No, because I could beat your level.
Bet.
Huh?
Bet. How would you beat my level?
And you can't say that you do it back to me because they're kind of the same thing. While you're asleep.
Mhm.
Because I'll wait on a day you're like, come on, take a nap.
It's crazy.
So you go take a nap,
Mhm.
and I'll put it underneath, right your ear. You know what it's gonna be?
Mm.
Really loud.
Mm.
Fork and plate sounds.
Oh, you're.
Yes.
Listen, I would call you so many words.
Said I might lose my salvation on that one.
Call you a D word.
Fun fact. He doesn't do the whole fork.
I
Scratch
can't.
the plate.
No.
And I don't do
Chewing.
and other like I don't do bodily sounds. I don't like if I hear someone like swallow or if they cough like weird or whatever, it gags me. I can't stand it. I'm autistic. Okay, and what ends up happening is I hyper focus on those sounds for whatever dumb reason. And so when someone's chewing, people are like, "Oh, it's fine." Like people who chew, listen, I love all of God's children, but let me tell you something. If you are someone who can just sit there at a dinner table full of people and not say a word and chew your food and eat and swallow and be fine in complete silence,
Ew.
what God gives you a special kind of brain because it can't be me. We can't eat together if that's the case. I need some music. I need you to talk. I need someone to say something.
Yeah.
But okay, so cognitive.
I think the dogs need to use the bathroom. That's why she keeps looking at you.
You need to use the restroom. You wait 10 seconds.
Yeah.
10 seconds, promise. So then the cognitive is honestly, you ready for it? Ready for this temptation? You ever explained your behavior
Every day.
in your head?
Every day.
Like you ever been like, you know what? I'm gonna do this to Susie. No, because Susie deserves it.
Mhm.
Because Susie said this to me, I didn't like it, and now I need to show. Like you try to explain your behavior so that way you can be right, so you can be justified by it. That's temptation.
Yeah.
Right? Moral temptation, right or wrong. The devil, devil gets you on that too. Moral temptation. Do you stand here? Do you stand there? Are you in between?
Yeah.
And then there's external temptation, things that you can't control on the outside of your body, So with these, it's kind of like God is breaking down, and God dealt with some of those too. God dealt with moral when he was in when he was in the wilderness. God dealt with cognitive. I'm sure God looked at those stones and was like, you know what? He's right. I could do it.
Mhm.
I'm not going to, but I could. So those are different types of temptation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the episode, well, one thing I would like to say is that not only, I mean, if you're new to, if you're new to the faith, then you need to be like, hey, God, like, hey, this is what's going on, and I need you to fix it, please. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we all need Jesus. We all need God because
everybody suffers with these kinds of temptations.
Literally, it doesn't matter. Just because you have stroke. I sorry. I don't mean anything by that. It's just my humorous. Okay. But listen, at the
You
end of the
said
day,
humorous. That's a bone, bro.
humorous?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
My humor.
Jaeger.
There you go. Listen,
Jaeger.
what'd you say?
Yeah. Edit.
Listen,
Edit.
listen. Uh, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I think that at the end, I mean, really, at the end of the day, we all need Jesus. We all do. I mean, He is our Lord and Savior, and I think that people have it or have been led to or been deceived. Really, they've been led the wrong way. The churches, some churches have failed them. Um, some people have failed them, but I can tell you the one person who has not failed, and that's God. And a lot of you only get. Thank you for the download. A lot of the people that think that God have failed them, it's because you failed yourself, not Him.
Mm-hmm.
People that think God failed them, He said it's because they failed themselves, not Him.
True. Facts.
Like you, I don't mean I don't mean that in a mean way, but
No.
at the end of the day,
People failed them.
people failed them, and
They failed themselves. People failed them.
yeah,
It's nothing to do with God.
yeah. God's always been here. I mean, from He knew you before you were even in your mother's womb. Like that for me, like I am grateful for having God in my life because of the fact that He saved me from falling into the bottomless pit or the endless pit of darkness, and then He saved me and my marriage, or brought my marriage together, and He gave me two wonderful little kids, and the one that's still on the way, and that He's still sculpting inside. Like I 1000% that I believe that He is sculpting that little girl inside.
Yeah.
Every time we go to church, you can look at Cassidy's belly and tell she is just having the time of her life. It might just be because of the vibrations, but I know in my heart God is sculpting that little girl to be something. So that's the
He's a
truth.
proud dad.
I am. I'm very proud of my kids, and will be, and will always tell them that because I never got that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I got it in some ways, but not the ways that I needed.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, I hope everybody has a great day, has a blessed, morning or evening or afternoon whenever you are hearing this. Um, Now it's on to episode 4. So I hope everybody have a great day and God bless and talk
See you
next week.
there.
Yeah, see you then.